It is a beautiful day out here, and I knew I wanted to get out in nature today just for myself, not even to record a video. It was really to go over some of my content ideas, make sure I'm in alignment with what it is that I'm doing here and the information I'm sharing with you all. I do want it to be valuable and helpful, but I also want to connect with you all and show my life as well, because like I said, this is my journey that I'm sharing and what I've learned and what I know to be helpful. And so I like to share that information, but also sometimes we need to just sit down and talk. Sometimes we just want to hang out. Okay, we don't need to consume more information. We don't need to know anything else. It's about being present. And I talked about this on Wednesday's live. If you missed that, it is recorded. I also had to upload the TikTok live to YouTube because the audio on YouTube was cutting out. I wish I would have known that. I would have definitely adjusted it then and made sure my connection was strong and everything. But I'll do that for this next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, going live. So you can join me there. We can talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. This is my first time coming down here. I've been to this park twice before, but I've just sat in the car because it was cold, very windy in this area. And but this is beautiful. This is really nice. I'm probably going to come back here again this weekend. But yeah, nobody's out here right now. I'm sure this weekend it'll be crowded because every time that I've come before at different times of the day, there's been a lot of people out here, which is good. People are getting outside, but I do like it when there's no one else out here but me and nature. And that's awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot to talk about today. If you're new here, I'm doing a 90-day challenge for myself, but I'm bringing you all along on the journey. I have resources in the description box for that as well, the habit challenge, and we take it 1 month at a time. So we're only doing 30 days, or however many days it is in the month that you start in, but 1 month at a time. The first month is about tracking. It is about measuring, so you can see your patterns. I talked about this on Wednesday's live. Definitely check it out, especially the vertical one that I downloaded or uploaded from TikTok. In the comments, I added timestamps there so you can jump straight to different information instead of watching the whole like hour-long live that's on there. And then on the one that's on YouTube, under the live tab, you can see the PowerPoint that I was presenting. I will use another PowerPoint during this Wednesday. It helps me stay on track, and I'm sure visual helps as well. But also, I want you all to let me know, what more information do you want to know about? What was a little confusing? Whatever it is, so I can dive deeper in that area, because I do want this to be helpful for you. Looks like a piece of glass. I thought it was a stone. Yeah, it looks like glass. But yeah, so as you can see, I have my water here. This is a part of my first 30 days. My 90 days is about my gut health and my nutrition, because that affects so many areas of my life. And so we're starting out with just the basics this first month. Like I said, just tracking my patterns, tracking when I'm being consistent, when I'm not, what was it that affected me, and also reminding myself why I am doing this. And so Wednesday's live, this past one, we talked about our values, why it's so important to understand that, and not just setting goals, because setting goals can lead to frustration and anger and all these other things. You're like spiraling out and also overwhelm. And so we start with values and our state of how we are in this present moment. Right now, this is very peaceful for me. So this is helping my state of being to be calm right now, to enjoy nature's music, to enjoy this cooler weather. It's starting to get a little warm because it's getting later in the day now. And being by this water helps. So this is helping my state to be relaxed so that I can be relaxed. And one thing that I didn't say during the live was that, hypnotists, what do they normally do? When somebody's about to hypnotize people, what do they normally do? This tree is leaning on this other tree just by a branch. They normally will relax the panel of people that they have, or whoever that person is. They want them to be in a relaxed state because they know that you can tap into the subconscious mind at that point. That's why movies and music and things like that, if they can get you into a state, into a frequency, into a vibration, you can tune in to certain channels, okay, certain broadcasts, and they can broadcast what they want. And that programs your subconscious mind. This is not to scare, fearmonger, any of this stuff. It's just to be aware of what it is of this reality that we live in, and also bring awareness to the fact that you can do that for yourself. And if other things aren't working, I'm just giving other resources and practices and things that you can do to assist you in this process. Because, I mean, when I started on my journey, I didn't have money, like a lot of money, to be investing in that. I mean, I've been self-employed for so long to where I didn't have health insurance. So I have to keep myself healthy so that I don't have to go to doctors. I would just go for checkups, you know, dentist, eye doctor, that type of a thing. But other than that, like if I keep myself healthy, then I don't need to go to the doctor. Okay. And so I did certain things out of necessity. And then I learned certain things along that journey, which is why I say when you start moving, you gain clarity. Because you may not know what it is you need to be doing right now, what the next step is. But once you start to move, then you're going to know, okay, if I need to get over there, because I'm just deciding that I want to go that way instead of this way, then all of my options are these right here. Now, I also talk about like pausing and the sacred pause and things like that, because you may not need to take that path. You probably go here and then there. And that's okay. And a lot of times that's what happens is we move. We're so afraid of moving in the direction because what if this happens? What if that happens? Well, it doesn't matter because you can always make another decision. As long as you're alive, that's the gift. That's the gift of waking up. That's the gift of this life, is that you have another chance. But if the time that you're taking is worrying about things, if you're doing this or doing that the right way, or how do you do it the best, or this and that, we're not taking that chance. We're not using the gift that is given to us. We're wasting time. And so we get up and we breathe. We feel our heartbeat. And if it's too fast, then we want to slow it down. If it's slower and we're stuck and freeze and we're sitting around and depressed, open the blinds, get up, go outside, sit there and let the wind blow on you, and then start walking around. Just start doing things around your house. Just go take a walk anywhere. Get your heart rate beating a little faster. What is that? Oh, that'll get your heart rate beating fast. Hearing weird noises coming from a crowded area of stuff. But yeah. And so we do that. And then in doing that, you're building momentum. And as you start moving, then you're going to decide. Oh, there's a frog over here. I don't think it likes me talking. So we're going to get to moving. I'm going to drink some water. Ooh, I see little fish. Oh. All right, I'm going to keep it moving. It's your space. You like your peace and quiet. So now I got to get across these rocks. All right, y'all, we're going to take a walk. Let's go. But yeah, so we just get to moving like right now. I would have loved to just stand there. I was trying to do my push-up challenge, which I'm going to do that here in a minute. But the phone kept falling, and I was like, okay, I guess this tree doesn't want me to be great right here. I had already recorded a video for my TikTok to show that my practicing of it. And then when I went to actually do the push-up, the phone kept falling, although I was putting it in the same spot that I recorded like a 3-minute long video in. And I was like, okay, I guess I need to start moving now. And so right now, I guess I got to start moving. This is paying attention, bringing awareness to the present moment, and you can hear and listen to things. Now it's going to be different for everyone. This is my journey, and this is how I live my life. And people are like, well, how did you do this? How do you know that? How do you do whatever? It's like, well, during these moments, I just move. And then I look around and I see what it brings me. And then I connect the dots from past experience. And I guess let's just try and set up right here. So I have you a little spot right here. You see some fish in the water. I don't know if you can or not. All right. What is this? I don't know what that says. Something sewer. But the design on there is interesting. And I always wonder about like sewers and water runoff areas, especially in certain cities and whatnot. I'm like, do we even know what's down those tunnels? Well, we're not going to go there right now because, like, why are there so many of these? I mean, I guess if this was a road, but I doubt that this was ever a road. But you got one here, one right here, one right here. Like 3 immediately. Anyway. The bees have really been on me today. So, I don't even know what I was talking about. Just, well, I also, a part of my life is taking the road less traveled, or the path less traveled, however they say it. I think it's the road. I don't like how people carve into trees. So I'm going to apologize for all of our destruction. And my brother brought it to my attention. He heard somewhere recently on the video, somebody was talking about how we're the only planet that has trees and how this is such a resource, such a valuable resource. While other planets have minerals and you can have crystals and diamonds and things like that. Now, of course, I'm sure like gold is a thing, but maybe that's on other planets because, again, that's like minerals and it takes pressure and time. But life, to even have life means you need water, and then water and plants allows for a different ecosystem. It's really interesting because I found myself in Arizona, Tucson. I met a lady in a solo women travelers group for van dwellers, and went and stayed with her for a period of time, and also was out in the desert of Tucson, closer to the border, and did a workaway there. If you don't know about that, there's certain websites you can go onto and have profiles, and people can offer room and board if you assist and volunteer in doing certain things around their property. I just did data entry for a small business, and they did shungite and moringa trees and structured water, which is really cool. Again, along my path, these things just happen. They reveal themselves. And, you know, I went out there, did that. So I switched from there to going into Tucson City to this lady's house. Shout out to Marty. And I also worked at a warehouse, at Target's warehouse, third shift. So, and I had my van during that time. So I would do that for a period of time, go out there, you know, swap back and forth. Anyway, I'm telling you that. Why am I telling you that? I was touching the trees. Oh, the minerals. I don't even remember. What was I talking about? These trees are really nice though. It's interesting how they come together here in the roots. They're 2 huge separate trees. But one, we need community, because them allowing me that space and a place to go. I mean, I paid rent and things like that too, but still, it's not what you'd be paying for an apartment. And I also learned while I was doing that and all kind of things. I'm trying to remember why I was saying I was in Tucson, out in Arizona. We're talking about the minerals of the trees and the life that it gives. Man, I hope it comes back to me. If not, I guess I'll talk about it on the live, maybe. So check it out Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to do this push-up challenge. I don't know why I was talking about Arizona. So I think I'll do it like here. This ground is flatter on this side. I'm going to get my phone out and pull up the song. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe for me. Alright, I'm gonna use the song, hit there, and then use my water bottle, set my phone on. All right, I got the timer set. All right, I think I got it. So I'll just draft it and edit it when I get back home. It's really bugging me about this whole Arizona thing. I don't know what I was talking about, but we're gonna keep it moving. I left my walking stick back there. Oh well. I'm gonna keep moving. Yeah. The thing is, when you take the road less traveled, that means there's not a lot of direction, and it's the unknown, and you really got to be aware of your surroundings, which can put you in a state of fear or anxiety for long periods of time, which is why I got out of the van life thing, because I was tired of having to find somewhere to park. Like I said, I mean, I stayed at those different places, but when I was traveling, trying to find a place to park to where you wouldn't get towed, or you weren't in a sketchy neighborhood, or people wouldn't knock on your door, or like, I wanted to be more stationary at that point. And then I also like certain luxuries. These trees. I also like certain luxuries and amenities and things, but I will tell you this. I mean, I lived a life of simplicity. I had to really cut down what I had with me, and that meant clothes and all the things, material things. Like, I couldn't carry a lot of stuff with me in a van, you know, and I had to have a bed and sink and like all this other stuff, and cooking food and cooking appliances and stuff and food. You know, there's different ways to do it. People live in Priuses and all kind of stuff. But, yeah, I was over it after a period of time. I do like it. I would build it out to be more conducive to my lifestyle. But also I just wanted more stability, and I want a place to put my things. Oops, sorry, y'all. And, you know, then it's like, well, you got to collect these things, and you have to have a place to put them, which means you need a place, which means rent and like other things. And I saw this older lady post the other day about how people who don't have like kids and a partner and a home and like these other things, you know, that it's okay, because that's a lot more responsibility. You have to maintain that and keep up with that, which means you need that income coming in certain jobs and things. So you're gonna have to do things that you probably wouldn't normally do to provide and to be able to keep those things. And so, you know, it's true. Even just our things in our home. People don't want to move and don't want to change up anything, because that takes a lot of work. Again, when you're looking at the outcome that's far away, like right now, if I wanted to get over there, I got to get past all this brush, and it looks more complicated, and I can easily say, you know, forget about it. But now it's taken away from my adventure, from getting over there, or my treasure that's over there, or whatever it is. I mean, that's going to give me a different perspective being over there, looking back this way. But again, I'm seeing this because I'm in this mess right now, and the water isn't flowing here. It's pretty stagnant. It looks nasty. But as I say, let's pause and use this time that we feel stuck and nothing's moving to look around, to be more present and aware, and to see, which is interesting, because I would have thought the water would be flowing this way, but it's actually coming down this way too. And I guess it goes the way that I started at with this video, and it converges where I was at, which is interesting, because just looking at this layout, you wouldn't think that. But I mean, I see a lot of different possibilities. I could go this way, but then there's more brush here. So if I want to go over there, probably not the best. That looks pretty cool, but I'm not pointing the camera that way. So I think that this would be the better path for me. And just find the steady rock, and just go for it. I mean, you know, what's the worst that can happen? Of course, there are things that can happen. So yeah, I'm aware of that, but it's worth it to me to do this. And again, I just use my life as an example, to show whatever it is, for whoever it is, because I know there's other people like me out there, and you're going to want to do things differently because you feel like you're different than others that are around you. And also with the world, the state of the world and everything that's going on, it can be overwhelming, and you can feel lost at times, and you're not quite sure what to do, because again, if not a lot of people have done it before, then what does that even look like? Will you survive? Will you make it? Will you be made a fool? Is it worth it? All of these things. And I don't know why, but I want to go over here to this big rock. We're just going to do this. There's a hole in that rock. Like a drill that hole. Yeah. All right, y'all. I don't want to keep you too much longer. I mean, I don't, unless you're cool with staying. If you're cool with staying, stick with me. Otherwise, subscribe if you're new here. If you're not new, join me on Wednesdays live, or just watch the lives back and comment. Let me know, what do you think about them? Did you get any good, valuable information? And what was that information that you got? This Wednesday, I'm going to talk about, we talked about values and our beliefs, which is the foundation of us accomplishing and having success in our lives. But accomplishing certain goals, we don't just focus on the goal. But this Wednesday, we're going to dive deeper into that, using the value that we picked for ourselves from Wednesday. And we're going to work on our identity. Because here's the thing is, when you're doing something different and no one else is doing, then we question who we are. So now we're going on what I call as a self-discovery journey, but it is an identity collapse that happens because who are you? You're creating someone new, which means the old has to be done for, which is the ego death, the old personality, all the things that go with that old person. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to burn everything down. I've talked about this before. You don't have to burn everything down, but it does mean that things will look different and it will be different, and you will have to teach people this new version of yourself. They will ask questions and you're going to have to know what it is, how you want to respond. Otherwise, they'll continue to treat you like that old version, or they're going to continue to expect this old version from you. But if you're a new person who doesn't, let's say, eat pork anymore or whatever it is, then you're going to have to say, hey, I don't eat that anymore. And you're going to have to take the judgment and whatever they say to you and whatever it is, especially if it's a whole party of nothing but pork. Like you're going to be the odd one out, and you're probably going to have to start like you're not going to eat. So you're going to be hungry. You're going to eat before, or you can bring something with you, which again, it looks weird and different. Do you really want to do that? Depending on the situation, But I'm just saying that to say that it will be different, and that is a new person. So now how would that person respond in these situations? Would they even put themselves in that situation? And if they do find themselves in that, then what do they do? But we will get to those things. That's later. Right now, in this first month of establishing a new habit, it is building a foundation and tracking our patterns. And then we're getting into, what does the future you even look like? What do they want? What are those boundaries that they will set? What is the food that they're going to eat? What are the places that they're going to frequent? Things like that. So I don't want to go that way. I don't know if y'all can see me if I go out of frame. I don't think you can. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here because I want to sit down and go over the content ideas and things before this live this week. And again, I can do this also because I keep myself agile. I keep myself moving. There are people my age. I know people who have had health issues, like severe health issues. Some haven't even made it this far, but I know some who have severe health issues. They can't move. There's so much pain in their body. They get tired after a period of time. Then you wouldn't be able to do this. And it seems so far out of reach. But I told y'all before about how I've messed my back up numerous times, but really seriously one time to where I couldn't even move. I couldn't stand up. This is why I say how you need an intense moment in your life, a rock bottom, a spiritual experience, a revelation, something to get you out of your comfort zone, to trigger a new perspective, and to say that you're fed up. Like, you have to be fed up with life. Like, we don't want to, but you got to get to that point for change. It's just a signal. When you're feeling all that and you're feeling frustrated and all this stuff builds up, you're like, why is nothing working? Good. If you're feeling sick and tired, good. It's a signal. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You have to bring awareness to that. which should be why you're watching my channel, that you've already brought awareness to that. And now how will we change? What does that look like? I'm walking you through those steps, through my lives, through my videos. Everyone's situations are different. So if you want something more personalized, you should reach out to me. You can email me, or you can find my information on the About section on YouTube, or you can DM me on any social media, anything like that. But you have to get to that point where you're fed up. You're probably gonna have to be in pain. Like, I'm not saying it's fair. Life's not fair. I'm not saying, any of these things or you deserve it or any of that. But I'm just saying those things that happen, in my opinion, is a signal that something needs to change. And a lot of times, like I say all the time, either you get pushed or you jump. And most of us, we wait and we put off our intuition, and we know we should be moving and doing something different or changing something or whatever it is, and we don't, and we get pushed, and then we're like, why me? Whoa, that's a big bird. But if you don't take that leap, that branch will break. And then you're gonna have to figure out how to fly. Or we know we're gonna take the leap, we're gonna do it, we do it, and we learn how to fly on the way down. And sometimes you go hit the ground, but you survive. There's another day, the gift. I call when I rise in the morning, because I rise with the sun, we rise every day. And then we should receive the day. You receive this gift of life. You receive the breath, the air in your lungs. You receive that. And then what do you do with that gift? Okay, so get yourself out the funk, move your body, stop being in the victim mentality, blaming everyone else, and why does this always happen, and all this other stuff. Okay, yeah, it's life, it's unfair. Now what are you gonna do? There's people that have been through worse. I think one of the motivational things that really affected me, which a lot of things did, and over a period of time during different seasons, certain things were more effective than others. But at one point I saw the guy, I think his name is Nick, and he has no arms and no legs. But dude was surfing. He's up there speaking in front of crowds. He grew up like that his whole life. So he had to go through so much, but he didn't stop. He doesn't say, oh, because I don't have arms and legs, I'm just not gonna do it. It's not meant for me. Look up the dude. I mean, I'm sure there's other people like that out there too, but do you let it stop you, or do you figure out how to do it in spite of whatever the things are? Like, we can make up any kind of excuse. Like I said, our brain will try to prove it to us, or it will. It's going to look for the proof that that thing is true. And so, what are you telling yourself? Again, this is bringing awareness to the patterns, and that is what we're doing during this first month. Because what are my excuses? What do I keep saying? Man, I'm telling you, it's a struggle. I'm around like family, nieces and nephews and things, and they have candy and snacks and all this. And it's like, I can so easily just take a little bite. Just a little bit. Nobody else sees. Nobody else knows. If I did it, nobody would know. But I'm cheating myself at that point. This is a nice little spot. Maybe I'll come here tomorrow. But yeah, like, that's just going to keep setting me back. And I'm feeding that addiction to the sugar. I'm feeding that parasite that's in the body, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is. Either way, I'm perpetuating the old habit. And I'm making an excuse. And I'm enabling myself at that point. A lot of times we can look from the outside and tell other people what to do, and everybody's going to always say what you should do. It's the best thing for you to do. You should do this, you should do that. But it's so hard for us to tell ourselves and to actually stick to it. Like, that's why I'm like, worry about yourself. You pour back into your cup, you can pour into others. But so many people are worried about what others are doing. Like, worry about yourself. What should you be doing? And start working on that. Because what you do actually impacts others as well. You're going to show them what's possible. All right? I don't know if I just walked through a spider web. But there's a bunch of birds around here. But yeah. Oh, I'm trying to hold this. My arm's getting tired. But as I find my way out of here, I'm going to wrap this up. You heard me? I'm reading, somebody wrote on a rock. Things we do, the things we do. When we're young, we don't think about the long-term effects of things because we're so far in the present that everything is so immediate and like we have to have it now, instant gratification. And as an adult, either you've changed that or you still are doing that. And you think that 5 or 10 years from now is so far off, when in actuality, it goes by fast. And you know that. It's like when you hit 30 or something, it feels like time just starts to go faster. And it's like now is more of an urgency. And now the things you do have a bigger impact, right? Now we're like saving and investing and doing these other things. And it's like, well, why didn't I do it when I was younger? Now here we go. Or a victim mentality of, nobody taught me this and that. Well, true, like the school system, we're not even gonna go there, but all the things. But even our parents and our other elders and family and stuff, like they probably didn't know. They probably didn't have the resources. I mean, don't get me going down the rabbit hole of women, and especially women of color, and how long ago, hasn't been that long since we even could have our own rights. Me being out here dressed the way I'm dressed, driving by myself, having a bank account, voting, all those things. Man, my ancestors' dreams. And that is a gift. What are we doing with it? Okay, so worrying about everything else that's going on outside. It will go on. Pay attention, for sure, be aware. But time goes by fast. So start doing some things now for the future, because the future is changing. Things are changing. It will change. It has changed. I mean, you don't just wait around to see what's going to happen. It's already happened. You already see the stuff. You already know this. How do you set yourself up? How do you secure yourself and your family? Okay, health. I've talked about it before. Work on your strength with your mind, your strength with your heart, your strength with your body. And it's so important right now. Okay, I don't want this to fall. Let's see if I can do this. But yeah. Whew. I'll show you this water before I get off here. Sorry if the mic has been rubbing and all this other stuff. Kind of going off the fly. But what are we doing with the time that we have right now? You have a gift right now. Nothing too crazy has happened to you if you're watching this. As far as you still have opportunity and time to make change. And we're still talking to each other right now. The grid has not gone down. Nothing in our area, on my side of the ocean, has exploded so far. At least not near me that I know of. And we have breath in our lungs. So we strengthen ourselves. We work on those things. Not in an anxious way, but in like an empowering way. Okay, you're equipping yourself for whatever happens, no matter what happens. You're equipping yourself. You want to be strong and capable no matter what happens. Because what you do affects the other generations as well. And wouldn't you, because we blame our elders and we blame all these other people, wouldn't you want them to have done this? So then you do that for the other generations. Don't be like, oh man, I didn't have it, so who cares? That's so unfortunate. And that's how we perpetuate certain cycles. And, some people believe in reincarnation. I don't know what you believe in, but if you came back and nobody did those things, but they could have, I mean, maybe you could have made a change. Maybe what you do now does affect a lot of things. About like the butterfly effect. One little thing can trigger change across the world or in another area of the world, and then that affects, it's just a ripple effect after that. That's a part of my optimism, is that divergency and it will affect the probability of things. And they may be able to predict certain stuff, but they can't predict everything. Or if one thing changes, maybe it triggers some other glitches in the matrix. Let me drink my water. But as you've watched this video, I don't know how long it's been going on for now. You've seen me walk. I've sweated some. I've got in the sun and got fresh air, been more water. I had to look up this place and I found it. And now I'm doing this. You see me squatting right now. Hopefully you can see me. I'm just moving my body in a simple way, and you can do that too. And even if you can't squat like that right now, even if you can't walk on your own right now, maybe we can get outside, open the window in our house. It's a good time. It's not too hot during certain times of the day. Open the window and let that air circulate through. All that stagnant air, you need to get it out. Okay? Open the curtains, like I said. Eat some food that's going to make you feel good, not heavy afterwards, not depressed afterwards. Okay? Because you're going to beat yourself up because you didn't do what you said you were going to do. Treat yourself right, because there is a ripple effect that comes from that. And for some people, they don't care about others like that, because again, we're in the victim mentality. And again, everybody's situations are different. I'm not saying, there's people who are in life or death situations, and things that happen to them that I'm not going to say it's their fault or anything like that. I don't know their situations, but I'm just saying, I don't know, at least for me, if I only had a couple of days to live, how would I live it? I don't know. How would I want to go out? I don't think I'd really want to ruminate on what I didn't do or should have done or any of that, because how does that help anybody? And that's not a way I want to go out. I would try to find the best way for me to enjoy my last few days or whatever it is. And I don't know why I'm going down this whole area of that, but just saying that pain is different for everybody. Everyone's situations are different. What? Oh my. Huh. Look at this. Okay, we're almost at 40 minutes. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Wonder what that is, if anybody knows anything about stones or rocks. Is it just quartz? That's a really shiny, clear one right there. I don't know, it caught my eye. I thought it was metal at first from the angle. And I was like, how is that in the rock? And I realized that's pretty cool. All right, well, I think that's my sign. We're gonna wrap this up. Hopefully I dropped the gem in there. That looks like a gem stone. Anyway, yeah. I don't know how close this camera is. So I'm gonna try to set you down real quick. This is the water that I'm looking at right now. I'm going to pause after this and meditate before I work on my content. And let's see where I can set you up. Set you over here. All right. Let's hope that I don't fall. Okay, sometimes you gotta go slow and get your footing. But life is a magical adventure, in my opinion. I like to see it that way. Sometimes when we're in it, it doesn't feel that way. Metallic insects are really interesting to me. I'm looking at a green one right now. I've never seen that one before. But just saying this to say that, like, you have a choice on what you do, no matter what happens to you, because we say that it happens for us. So what is that revealing to us? What is it providing for us? What is the opportunity that it gives us, although it doesn't look like it. A lot of things, it's like, this is not an opportunity. But I would argue that if something is happening for us, that is an opportunity. So now, instead of rejecting that idea, because remember, our brain is going to convince us of what's true and what's not, instead of rejecting the idea right off the bat, because we have cognitive dissonance, this goes against what we truly believe, then we just ask the question. Just give yourself a few minutes to open up to the possibility that maybe that is true. And if it is, what does that mean? What if it is true? What if it is an opportunity? What does that mean? What if it is this opportunity? What if it was for me? What can I do with this situation? And yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. And I'm gonna enjoy my time out here. I hope y'all are doing good. Continue to take care of yourselves. Continue to strengthen yourself. Continue to shine on. And real quick, before I get off of here, I got a feeling that more people are gonna start coming here in a little bit. We're gonna breathe. Hold. And release. Not just your breath, but the tension that you have right now. Whatever it is that you're feeling tension against, that resistance against, go ahead and release it, even for a moment. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, relax your hands. Stretch it out real quick. Give yourself this moment. I appreciate you for joining me. Again, if you're new, subscribe to my channel. I bring you videos like this every Sunday. Every Wednesday, I'm doing lives for 90 days at this point. I got 2 weeks in. 3 weeks in. Okay. 3 weeks of the 90 days has already been completed. So that's almost 1 month. And so then 2 more months of my lives on Wednesday. If you like those, I'll continue them. Otherwise, I'll get back to videos like this on Wednesday as well. So every Sunday, Wednesday, videos like this. I do shorts every day. I've been slacking a little bit this week because of travel, get back to groove things, computer issues, all of that. So no excuses though. We're going to get on that this weekend. And yeah, gonna enjoy this time in quiet before other people come, and do a little bit of breath work to relax my body and put myself into a state to receive whatever information it is that I need to receive at this time, and then look at my content ideas and see what it is that we will discuss in some future videos. All right, y'all take care. Continue to shine on.